semester winds down, many of us start to divert our attention from studying to the Christmas holidays. Here at the Rambler Sports Locker, we admit to switching our attention over a little bit too early. The guys at the round table know that they're getting most of the presents they wanted this year, an NBA season, Albert Pujols out of the NL Central, and a full slate of college football bowl games. Let's hope they can quell their excitement enough to have a coherent discussion.
Thanks, Steve. I'm joined by Pat Luongo, Joe Flaherty, and I'm Brendan Bond. And on this week on the round table, we're going to cover everything and anything that has to do with sports in rapid fire, just like the Oklahoma State offense. Which, Pat, should they be in the BCS championship game?
You know, I would have liked to see them because I like offense. I want to see a big scoring game. But, I mean, quite frankly, I guess Alabama is probably the second best team in the nation. And I do think that Alabama goes into Louisiana and repays the favor and wins.
I don't know about all that.
I think that.
But I really do believe that Alabama, LSU, if that's the top two teams, it doesn't matter if they're playing again because the first game, 9-6, that was still really captivating. Yeah. It was a defensive struggle, but everyone.
But Oklahoma and Alabama are so close in the polls, and that was because Saban, the Alabama coach, put Oklahoma as like the fourth best team in the nation. I don't know. My opinion, it should be a +1 format where Boise State, Stanford, Alabama, and Oklahoma State all play to go for second place, and they should just have LSU play Green Bay because Green Bay is the best team in the NFL, led by Rodgers. Do you think they're going to go undefeated?
In the regular season, yeah. I think they trip in the playoffs. I don't know to who. I didn't think the Patriots would go undefeated, and I in my wildest dreams couldn't have predicted that my Giants would beat them, but I think they trip in the playoffs.
I really don't see. I think it's something really different coming from a Bears fan. I think it's something really different about the Packers this year. It's just I feel that it's going to be the one team to go undefeated.
Saints are going to win. Drew Brees is nuts. Between him and Rodgers, it's tough to say who's the best player in pro football. Who's the best player in college football, though? Heisman's getting picked.
I think Trent Richardson. I think as a work ethic, like you can't tackle the dude. Mm-hmm. He breaks 3, 4, 5, 6 tackles in a run. I'm going Trent Richardson.
I'd have to agree because they had some stat I heard the other day. He gets over 80% of his yards after first contact. That's so if you can't take him down and then he's just going to run away with you that 4-3
Did you
speed.
see the ESPN documentary that they had about Alabama and they showed him in like the weight room and
they've got to ESPN loves Alabama.
They won't let him squat 500 pounds or something because they got to rein him in.
The best player is Robert Griffin III, RG3. I mean, Baylor won 9 games with him. Baylor won 2 games without him.
That is shit.
This shoot, he's excited. But regardless, there are a bunch of guys going to New York to win that award. Somebody who's not going to New York, going to the opposite coast, might be Chris Paul. Are the Lakers going to get him?
I truly hope he's going to the Knicks. He's got to go to the Knicks. Please go to the Knicks. Please.
The best 2 teams in the NBA are still going to be the Bulls and the Heat. It's going to be between them.
The Bulls need to do a little bit to be up there with the Heat.
They have D-Rose. They're not going to.
I mean, you're going to have to.
D-Rose did nothing. He did nothing.
He took the blame for the series, but
LeBron
D-Rose
James
is going to come back better.
shut him down.
No, D-Rose is still a better player than LeBron.
I would have to.
In a one-on-one matchup.
I'd have to agree with that.
Better. So what if he gives up 6 inches? He still don't beat him.
Look, when the Bulls get Dwight Howard, we're winning the championship. But
I'm just. I lost all respect for LeBron when he left Cleveland and just broke the fan base.
Well,
somebody else did too.
I don't like LeBron.
Did you hear about the story today? Somebody else broke his own fan base.
Well, it's a huge announcement. Despite the fact that the Angels have Pujols and C.J. Wilson, they will have to play 162 games and playoff games to win the World Series.
They're not even best in their division. Rangers are.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
They might. I mean, you know what? You could make the case that Anaheim took 2 steps forward and took a step back by getting the Rangers' best pitcher. But last year, the Red Sox took 2 steps forward, getting Gonzalez and Crawford. The Rays took a step back, losing Crawford. And who made the playoffs last year?
Well, I mean, it looked.
Yeah, but we have Theo now, so whatever about the Red Sox. Anyway, I guess we got to wrap it up. We stay close strong, though, much like Tim Tebow does. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, guys. I'm sure you could have gone for an hour on that one. A lot has happened this semester in Rambler Athletics, and I'm really not just saying that. To give us one last update from the athletic department, here's the director, Dr. Grace Calhoun.
Thanks, guys, and thank you, Dr. Calhoun, for taking some time out of your very busy schedule for sitting down with us today.
Well, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So you were just finishing up your first full season as the athletic director here at Loyola University. What are some things that you can reflect on, some good things, some bad things? Just what happened this fall that you're going to remember?
Yeah, well, it was wonderful after so much preparation to actually get into a season and get to watch our teams compete on the field. I saw some really encouraging things. Obviously, we've got several brand new coaches, so between Randy Hassenbank with track and field, Barry Bimby with women's soccer, just learning their programs and really trying to rebuild what they have. It was great to finish women's soccer on an uptick with their win over Butler and getting a couple conference wins along the way. Cross country finishing second on the women's. Gina Velgoy was second for the women, third overall, I believe, and men's second overall. So I think we saw some really promising things. We've got our final home men's soccer game tonight, so we'll see how they finish up. But really encouraged by what I saw, and I just continue to be overwhelmed by Loyola in general. The people here are phenomenal. It's such an incredible institution, and that the support continues to be felt on a daily basis.
Now, as everyone knows, you came from Indiana University in Bloomington. Can you talk a little bit about the difference, not only between Bloomington and Chicago, but just about the size of the schools and the size of the athletic departments, and what's better about being here at Loyola?
Yeah, well, if the weather continues like this, I'll have no complaints. These nice 50, 60-degree days are fantastic. It's obviously a much smaller department. We have about a third the number of student athletes, and probably about a fifth or a sixth of the budget, so we're forced to be more resourceful on a daily basis. But on a positive note, the student athletes, the work ethic, the competing for the pure love of the game, and understanding that athletics are an important part of their educational development. I see that coming out much more loudly and clearly than has been my past experience. So very different operations on many levels, but also a lot of commonalities. And I have said from the start that just because of our size, we're not limiting or lowering our sights on what we think we can do. We know we can be a championship contender in all sports and compete on the national stage, and we plan to do that.
Great. Well, coming up, we've got the big season starting, men's and women's basketball.
Yeah.
We're just just over a week away from men's basketball officially beginning with the game against Illinois.
Right.
Can you talk about what you're looking forward to with these winter seasons, and some things that you guys are doing to get students more involved and just kind of increase awareness and participation in athletics here on campus?
Super. The Midnight Madness event we had going on 2 weeks ago now was just such a wonderful taste for me of what the basketball season can be like. The gym was energized, the student involvement was fantastic, and I love the fact that for us the event was all about the students. We involved them in the activities. They were a core part of everything that we did, and that will be the theme as we progress into the basketball season, just getting the students into the new Gentile Arena and have them really feel part of the game, as well as the faculty and staff. We also we had a luncheon 2 days ago on the Lakeshore campus for faculty and staff. We'll have one tomorrow on the Water Tower campus, and getting the campus to embrace the fact that these are their teams. We want them there. I think we're in rebuilding modes on both sides, but I think we're going to see very competitive programs, student athletes who play hard, and that our campuses should want to support.
Right. Now, you mentioned the new Gentile Arena.
Yes.
I've noticed, the more I've talked to coaches and members of the athletic department, everyone's excited, not just those who actually get to use the arena, and
Right.
you can start to hear that among the students as well. How excited are you to move into that fantastic new arena?
We are just so excited. Obviously, starting the first month of the men's and women's season on the road is a hardship, but it'll be well worth it when we get into the arena. And just having a true collegiate arena that gives us something to not only sell with recruiting, but really just improves the fan game experience when they're in there. I do think it's going to make so much of a difference for the students. There'll be a true student section. I think it will be loud. It will be still that intimate feel that Alumni Gym was always known for. So it's going to be a real competitive advantage for us, and we're just looking forward to getting going and getting them in the arena.
Great. Thank you very much for your time today, Dr. Calhoun, for enlightening us on what's going on inside the athletic department.
Okay, thanks, Garrison. Happy to do it.
There are clearly some things that everyone can look forward to here on campus, and we're going to send it back to you guys in the studio.